I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, said the Most High. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. See? Verse 43, her cities are desolate, a dry land, a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither does any son of man pass thereby. Nobody's going to be here, because it's going to be burning. See? All the abominations that you have done. Verse 45. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Most High. Unless your heart faint, your mind faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that, in another year, shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. See? This prophecy is going to happen, people. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, confused, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. See? Then the heaven and the earth and all that in them there is shall sing for Babylon, for the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, said the Most High. As Babylon has caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth, because of what America has done. Yet ye that have escaped the sword, go away. Stand not still. Remember the Most High far off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. Let Israel come back into our mind, y'all. We are confounded because we have heard reproach, disgrace. Shame shall cover our faces, for strangers are coming to the sanctuaries of the Most High's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will do judgment upon her, graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall roam. So let's go back to Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47 chapter. That's prophecy of what's going to happen. Future prophecies. Isaiah 47 and 6. See, I was wroth with my people. You see, he was wroth with us, with his people. I have polluted mine inheritance. He polluted his inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. It ain't show us no mercy. Upon the ancient as thou very heavily laid thy yoke. The older people didn't matter. It says very heavily laid their yoke. Made a burden for them. Hard time. Work till you're 65. Now you'll be 70, probably over 70. And still people eating dog food and cat food and barely making it. You see? And they don't work from the time they started working all the way to the time that they retire, and they don't have anything to show for it. And you don't care. That's why I said, you don't get it, man. You see the Most High said in verse 6 of Isaiah the 47th chapter, I was wroth with my people because we didn't follow his law, statutes, commandments. And you knew that we were in captivity for not following the law, statutes, commandments. That's why you're going to do nothing but keep us being wicked. And stupid Israel, sodist children that you are, you let them allow you to be as such and not come back to the Most High's laws. I have polluted mine inheritance. How he polluted his inheritance? Just look at how he polluted his inheritance. Go to the book of 1 Ezra 8, and we're going to look at verse 69. Book it right there. It's on page 11 if you have the red Cambridge University Press Apocrypha. Most I say, I have polluted my inheritance. How he pollute us? Look. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of who? The Gentiles. You other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. See? We done put away the pollutions of the Gentiles, as wit of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, all so-called African nations, and the Moabites, the indigenous so-called Chinese people, Egyptians, Moabites, and Edomites, so-called white people. See? How you do it? For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity, of this wickedness. See, the Most High told us in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, the 3rd verse. He told us this. Deuteronomy 7. We say polluted his inheritance. Most High did this. We didn't want to follow him. Look. Say, Deuteronomy 7:3 say, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his sons. We just read how we wicked. Ezra's telling us how wicked we were in doing this. Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods, other idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. See? Psalms 96:5. Psalm 96:5. This is how he polluted us. This is how we were polluted, and this is how a lot of you polluted right now. That's why a lot of you don't want to believe in the truth. Psalm 96:5. For all the gods of the nations are idols. They're idols. But the Most High made the heavens. Why you say he made the heavens? Because, like you said, you worship what? The sun, the moon, the stars, everything. See, all the gods of the nations are idols. So that's what we did. And why he said he polluted us. But we didn't want to follow him, so he gave us over to these nations. Ezekiel 7:24. But we're just mainly dealing with what we're dealing with in our subject matter of Edom. Ezekiel 7:24. He said, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, the worst of all these other nations, and they shall possess their houses. And I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. And that's what they did. Straight up, they did it. And it happened a lot before Mashiach Yahushua came on the earth. That's why you look at Malachi to Matthew, the book of Matthew, there's a period of time that's not there. You can't go from the Persian Media Empire to the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire. And you jumping from Malachi to Matthew. What's in between that is the Apocrypha. You see, when you go to Maccabees, this is the Greek Empire coming into power for the day of evil. And remember we read in Proverbs 16:4? Most High created all things for himself, yeah. Even the wicked for the day of evil. So now here we are in Maccabees, the first chapter. It tells you, First Maccabees 1:1, it said, and it happened that after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonians, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes. You got no history. And that's why when you read Daniel's second chapter, it's giving you the history of the kingdoms that will come into power. In Daniel's second chapter. That's why the last kingdom was America. The superpower of the earth will be America. So it says, in Alexander the Greek had to take down the Persian and Mede Empire to set up the Greek Empire. You see? And it's right here. In between Malachi to Matthew. Here we are right here. This is what they took out. It says, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes. The Persian Mede was the empire that was in power before the Greek Empire. that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. See? The first over the Greeks. It's over a white man's empire. So when you look at verse 9, it says, and after his death, after Alexander the Greek death, they all put crowns, which polished in authority upon themselves, and so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. That's why the Most High is clear. He say, they're made for the day of evil. Here it is, say evils are multiplied in the earth. Now let's go right to the point where they defiled our sanctuary. Going to verse 44. It says, for the king who was King Antiochus, one of the Greek emperors, wicked emperors, most wicked, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and to our land of Israel, where we were at, and this is before Mashiach came on the earth, mind you, and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. See, that's what they did. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh. You're supposed to touch a dead pig carcass. This is how they defiled our temple. And unclean beasts. And they should also leave their children uncircumcised, the boys uncircumcised. So it's a powerful, when you look at this, how this went on here, and it went on when they came to America too. You see? When they first came in 1492, they still did the same things. That's why it's hard to reach the house of Israel coming back into the sheepfold, because of what they did to them when they came in 1492. And by the time they got us in 19, shoot, they had Murder Incorporated down pat. From 1492 to then, oh yeah, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of unclean and profanation, to the end they might forget the law. You don't tell me this wasn't a diabolical plan? Well, we always got to keep saying we got to keep the law, we got to keep the law, we got to come back to the Most High's laws. In the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. There it is. There it is. For all listeners to hear. So, this is what we up against. And been up against. And people act like everything is cool. It ain't cool. It ain't alright. This diabolical plan against us, it's been against us, and it's right here. And it's the same thing continued over and over again. What's new under the sun? It ain't new under the sun. It's just the same thing repeating itself over and over again. We come back to the laws, and you can't, look, come on, think about it. What did the Mashiach Yahushua use to rebuke Satan? He went to the law every single time. Didn't he have to leave him alone? So why do you think we're in these laws? Why do you think you got to go over these laws? Why do you think you got to know these laws? When he come at you, what you going to do? Oh, leave me alone. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, you start crying and screaming. Did the Mashiach Yahushua do that? He was fasted 40 days, hadn't ate nothing, hadn't drank nothing for 40 days. What did he do? He went straight to the law. Every single time, went straight to the law. What Satan do? Did he go to the law? No, he couldn't go to no law. He condemned with that. He couldn't go to the law. Look, I want y'all to remember this. So it's very important. I'm just gonna read it to you. It's simple. It ain't hard. I made a statement. I'm gonna show you that. That's what he did. Let's go to it. Go to Matthew, the 4th chapter, the 4th verse. And we're gonna show you. I'll read verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. Command that these stones be made bread. What did Mashiach say to him? But he answered and said, it is written. Anytime you see it is written, it has been said. Have you not read? Have you not heard? Where? In the Old Testament. In the law and the prophets. You say, But he answered and said, this is him talking to the devil, being tempted of him 40 days. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. Look, Deuteronomy 8:3. You got to see this. What did he use against Shaitan? Why you think they would say you're not under the law? I'm going to keep saying that so maybe it'll sink into your head why they would say this. And keep having you say it, repeat that, to think you ain't got to go over these laws, they the Most High's laws, that you ain't got to follow the Most High, but you can follow the devil. Deuteronomy 8:3. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man does not live by bread alone. Well, we had in the law, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High, that does man live. That's what he quoted, the law. So if you don't know anything about the law, since you don't have to remain under the law, you ain't got to follow the law, how you going to rebuke Satan? Keep asking you that. Matthew, go back to Matthew 4. Whole Matthew 4, we're going to keep going back and forth. So I'm just showing you what he used, what works. For those that have ears to hear and eyes to see. Matthew 4:7. Now let's go to verse 4 and 6. And it's, let's go to 5. But the answer is in 7. But let's see. Then the devil taketh him up into a holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of Man, Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So what is he using against him? He ain't going to the law. He went to what King David said in the prophecy. This is what he's saying. Go to Psalm, I think it's 91 and 11. Psalm 91 and 11. This is what he's using. This is where he's going. Psalm 91. He ain't go to the law. Psalm 91 and 11. And 12. They shall bear thee up. Well, I'll read verse 10. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. Verse 11. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. See? That's what he used. Those verses there. So you got to understand this, because in the scriptures it's clear, but our people don't like to read. They made you so you hate reading, so you don't know what you're supposed to know. In dealing with who it is that's against us. Look at 2 Corinthians 11 and 14 and 15. It says, 2 Corinthians 11, 14 and 15. It says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. You see? Transforming himself into an angel of light, fooling you. Therefore is no great thing if his ministers, so that you know Satan has ministers, also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. See? In that light we read that the lamp and the light is the commandments of the Most High. Transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. That's why it says, verse 13, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of the Mashiach. So I said, if it was possible, they would fool the very elect. But you got to know this. So going back to Matthew the 4th chapter, Satan telling them, verse 6, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Just what we just read in Psalm 91, 11 and 12. Mashiach said unto him, it is written again. So you hear it? What he's saying? It is written again. Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power. So you not supposed to tempt the Most High your power. Satan. What did he quote? Deuteronomy 6 in the law and 16. Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Ye shall not tempt the Most High your power, as you tempted him in Messiah. See, that's what he's quoting, the law. 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. 1 Corinthians 10 and 9, excuse me. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 9. Neither let us tempt Mashiach, as some of them also is tempted and were destroyed of serpents. See, he was that angel of the Most High in the wilderness, as we just read in the law. Matthew 4. Go back to Matthew 4 again. And look at verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So he showed him all the kingdoms of the world, including this kingdom that we're in now, and the glory of the kingdoms. And said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. See? He said, all this I'll give you if you fall down and worship me. Then said Mashiach to him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. See? He told Satan, you shall worship the Most High your power, and him only shall you serve. Just like we gotta worship the Most High our power, and him only shall we serve. Every entity, whether it's on the right hand side of the Most High, angels on the right hand side or the left hand side of the Most High, gotta worship the Most High. You see? And he knows this. See? So what is he quoting? Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Deuteronomy the 10th chapter, 20th verse. The law. So somebody telling you ain't under the law. What they tell you? They don't want you to rebuke Satan. You better rebuke Satan. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, which is your power. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. See? Exodus 20 and 3 to 7. This is the 10 Commandments for us. Exodus 20 and 3. Thou shalt have no other idols before me, no other gods before the Most High. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Period. And that's what he dealt with in dealing with Shaitan, people, the law. So, Matthew 5 and 17. He said, think not, don't even think, Matthew 5, 17. Think not that I, Mashiach Yahushua, am come to destroy the law. or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. You're hearing it for yourself. So once he gave Satan the laws, this just in the next chapter we in. Let's go back and see what Satan did. Was he kept going to the law, kept going to the law, kept going to the law. The Most High's commandments, the Most High rules and regulations. What did he do? Matthew 4 and 11. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. And he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. See? The devil leaveth him. Leave him. You get away from him. Rebuke the devil, he shall flee. Rebuke him with the law. But the Most High, he had enough power. Look, he already done conquered him. He made him. You know what I mean? He could have said, look, man, I made you through the power of my father, the Most High Yahweh. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I made you, man. He didn't have to deal with him if he didn't want to. But he was in the flesh. He was just like us. He's showing us a way. He's the examples of what works. That's why he said, Matthew 5:17, think not, don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's the Old Testament. That's all they had to go by. That's all they read from. They didn't read from no New Testament. They read from the law and the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. See? Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, as you tell these preachers telling us that we're not under the law, we're under mercy and grace, and telling you that you're a Gentile, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. He'll be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But, this is a condition, whosoever shall do and teach them, do and teach the law, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So, you choose for yourself. You know? Either going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven, or you're going to be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. By following the laws of the Most High. Following his rules and regulations, his orders. Point blank. Let's go back to Isaiah. And these are the things that you're looking at that they are contrary to, because they want us to not follow the laws of the Most High, so they have power over us. Remember, they know that we went into captivity for what? Breaking the Most High's laws. So you think they're going to show you how to come back to the laws? I don't think so. Isaiah 47 and 6. Say, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance. How he polluted us? By giving us over to the heathen. He said he gave us to the worst of the heathen. Now let's go to Song of Three Holy Children, verse 9. This is who he gave us to. Song of Three Holy Children, verse 9. It's on page 108 if you have the red Cambridge University Press Apocrypha. It says, and thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. Hear that? Lawless enemies. So lawless means they're not going to be following the laws of the Most High. Lawless enemies. Most hateful forsakers of the Most High. That's why they were named first in Psalms 83rd chapter as the enemies and the haters of the Most High. And to an unjust king and the most wicked in all the world. There it is. The most wicked in all the world. It don't matter who's in charge, they're still going to be unjust. Pertaining to the lawless enemies. Not following the laws of the Most High. You think they're going to change it up? You think somebody they're going to reach the presidency in America and they're going to change all this wickedness up that they're doing now? They're going to add to it. That's all they're going to do is add to it. Accept it and add to it. So he said unjust king. So y'all want to make them righteous? No, it's not going to happen, people. So let's look at verse 7. It said in Isaiah 47 chapter, it says, And thou saidst, I shall sit a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it. See? They're gonna sit a lady forever. They're gonna be on top of the world forever. But they ain't consider the last days and the latter end of their kingdom. That's what he's talking about. That's why you go to Revelation 18, because this chapter coincides with Revelation the 18th chapter, y'all. Isaiah 47 chapter. Say again. Somebody said something? We'll start at verse 1. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory, illuminating from it. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. Babylon the great is fallen. Has become the habitation of devils. Don't get it twisted, y'all. This ain't no devils that's coming out of the ground with no pitchfork and no red suit on. Because when you go to get Revelation 2 and 10. Say, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. That's all I need on that. So the devil has put us in prison. These prison holes and so forth. So it says it's going to be habitation of devils in Revelation 18 and 2. And the hold of every foul spirit. You see? The things that's contrary to the words of the Most High is right here. Foul spirit. In a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right here. In America. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. She is still what? A woman. She gonna sit a lady. Because I still consider her as a woman. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. Making everything. I mean, when they had the longshoreman strike, them ships was going all as far as you could see. All the merchants of the earth, they getting rich over America. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. This is how you got to come out of America. You can't run from the sky, can you? People talking about flee America, but you look at all the places where you run to, they got all kind of havoc going all over this world. Where you going to run from when it's your time to die? Most I pull your card, say it's your time. How you going to stop that from happening? Because you ain't here, wherever you at. Whatever the Most High predestined for you to happen to do, going to happen. If all the leaders leave America, who going to teach the people? Who going to reach out to the people? It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Come out of the ways, all the wickedness that we reading about. That foul spirit. You know, cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You know, habitation of devils. Don't be the devil in the devil's kingdom. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven, verse 4, saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. See? That's why we got to come out to the laws of the Most High. And don't follow these lawless enemies of the Most High, and the most hateful forsakers of the Most High. And the most unrighteous people of the world, and to an unjust king and the most wicked in all the world that we just read about. Now be partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. The Most High going to plague this place because of sins against him. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. See? So it's a reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she have filled, fill to her double. She will get double. You watching all the people that you're killing unjustly? Gonna be two of y'all being put to death. That will happen to us. We got double. So you're gonna get double. It says, how much she have glorified herself, and live deliciously. The rich and the famous, right? So much torment and sorrow give her. It's coming. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen. What she say? Isaiah 47:7. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, to your mind. You ain't think about this. Neither just remember the latter end of it. See? He's saying, how much, verse 7 of Revelation, the 18th chapter, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, she said in her mind, I sit a queen and am no widow. I ain't no widow. You know, a widow is someone that lost their husband. I ain't lost no man. I ain't no widow. Ain't nobody came here and did anything in America. And shall see no sorrow. See? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High power who judges her. Right? Going back to Isaiah 47 and verse 8. Say, neither did they remember the latter end of it. Verse 8. Remember here, therefore hear now this, thou that art given the pleasures, enjoying yourself, that dwelleth carelessly, no security, that saith in thine heart, you say in their mind, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And come on now. Who said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me? Who's that I am? Let's go to John 8:53. St. John 8:53. St. John 8:53. Art thou greater than our father Abraham? Talking to Mashiach Yahushua, which is dead, and the prophets are dead. Who maketh thou thyself? Who do you think you are? Who do you say you are? Whom maketh thou thyself? Who do you say that you are? Verse 58. Mashiach Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. But Esau said he's I am, and none other but we. You can't deny this. Going back to Isaiah 47 and 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given the pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that saith in thine heart, saying in mind, I am, and none else beside me. Here it is right here. Can't deny it. Mashiach Yahushua said he had hair of wool. His feet like a fire brass that burning in the furnace. Here it is right there. They saying they him. I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in a day, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. And you're going to kill the men, kill the children and the men. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All the witchcraft and sorcery that they're doing. And psychics that they have, palm readers, witches, all these things. Gonna come upon them. Great abundance of thine enchantments. That's why I look at 1 Thessalonians 5:3. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. That's why you look at it. I'm looking at it for my period of time of being in this earth and how growing up, it was a long time before a great disaster or something really, terrible happened. But it's like a woman having a baby. The contractions, when she's in travail, I mean the contractions are far apart and they get closer and closer and closer. You see everything happening real quick. Now, I don't even know what happened, the last few days, but I mean, you see this person getting killed. This happening. They going to shooting everybody up. Running their trucks into people. Killing a whole lot of people. We just like a woman in travail, it says. And they shall not escape. See? But ye brethren are not in darkness. See? They in darkness. Remember, they got the people in gross ignorance. But we don't supposed to be in ignorance. Not knowing that day should overtake you as a thief. As they the major thief. So they ain't supposed to overtake us like they're operating in this world. As the greatest thief in the world. He ain't supposed to catch us like a thief coming in. We not expecting it to happen. Because you're supposed to know this. You're all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. This is how we're supposed to be operating. So you're supposed to know these things. Don't get caught up in their fantasy world of darkness, ignorance, not knowing. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, be focused. Don't be running around here drunk. You're gonna catch you right there as a thief in the night. You coming like a thief in the night, gonna catch you right when you drunk. You gotta be sober minded. You gotta drink in moderation so you're not really caught up with this. For they that sleep, sleep in the night. They sleep in darkness. And they that be drunken are drunken in the night. He's telling you, remember the people in what? Gross darkness. Which is night, what is dark at night. This is hip talk. But he's telling you, say, but let us who are of the day be sober, be focused, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, which is the keeping of the Most High's commandment, and for in helmet the hope of salvation. See, for the Most High has not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our power of Mashiach Yahushua when he came, when he come back to this earth to judge and make war. See? Died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, whether we alive or in the grave, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together, edify one another, even as also you do. See? We got to understand this and understand this point because it's very important. That's why I go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you. Don't let anybody lie to you by any means. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. Who we talking about today? Edom. In Isaiah 47 chapter. That man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's who he is. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called a Mashiach Yahushua, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High, so that he as a Mashiach Yahushua sitteth where? In the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, that he is the Mashiach Yahushua. You can't deny it. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. There it is every day, every way, shape or form. There it is for you to see. He's sitting in the temple of the Most High. Who's the temple of the Most High? 1 Corinthians 3:16. He's sitting in the temple of the Most High amongst our people, the children of Israel. We're going to see. Showing himself that he is the Most High, that he is the Mashiach Yahushua. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16.